Hi, have I ever introduced you officially to Lisette? This is her picture, approximately. She is my fairy friend. So, to go back in time, I may have posted something about her on YouTube before, but it's been, my blog is so many years old now, I can't remember what I've talked about and what I have not. So, in any case, I don't want this to be too long, but I'm going to be honest, I'm skeptical about everything despite all the weirdnesses that I have had happen in my life. I need to look this way. Sorry. Weirdnesses that I've had in my life. And, so I question everything. Everything has to be proven to me, despite my open mindedness in general. So I will admit that I never totally believed in things like fairies and leprechauns, elementals, things like that. Until Lisette. So what happened is, I want to say this was in 2002. I was working in Culver City, California at the time. And I would go out to this kind of like a little park-like area outside my office building. There was a fountain and like lots of trees and nature and stuff. And I would sit out there during lunch. And I noticed, no, I didn't notice. You don't realize things until later. So more than once, when I would be out in this pretty naturey area, I would do this. I would feel my left ear. It wasn't like I felt something tickling, but something would prompt me to do this gentle touching of my ear. And I didn't think anything of it. And one day while I was out there, I could have sworn I felt something like a spider on my left arm. So I quickly, instinctively swatted it. But then I looked, I'm playing with this in my bedroom. I looked and I didn't see anything. But I thought, well, it was just a fly or something and it's gone. A gnat and, it's gone. That was it. Well, as fate would have it, I think this was 2002, because that was when a lot of stuff got revealed to me. I had a reading by, I'd heard about this fabulous other channel named Athena. What's the A name? Although I believe she was born with her name, so it's different. Athena Demetrios, and that she channeled someone named Dr. Peebles, who was a human being in the earlier 1900s. And then he died, of course, he died, and he comes through a few different people on the planet. And but I'd heard it was a life-changing thing to have a session with her. So I went for a session out of total curiosity, and I gotta say, the most fascinating freaking hour I have ever had in my life, talking to Dr. Peebles, because it was not Athena. You were talking to Dr. Peebles, a guy. He flirted with me. Anything. He was so accurate and knew so many things that there was no way he could have known. I was sold immediately. So a lot happened during that hour. But I think it was probably towards the end of that hour, maybe. Because we were talking about, he was telling me about some of my spirit guides and stuff, like Lethau, who hits me in the head with a book, and he does. It was funny because I used to utter, ow! When I would be talking to somebody and some kind of a truth would be spoken, I would literally feel like someone smacked me in the head with a book. And I used to say that. And then Dr. Peebles said, oh, by the way, your guide, Lethal, he's tired of having to hit you in the head with a book when you're not getting something he wants you to get. So, but anyway, I'm sidetracked. So to go back to Lisette, all of a sudden, Dr. Peebles says to me, he's like, you have a fairy with you. And I went, what? Because I wasn't believing in fairies and leprechauns and stuff back then. And he's like, she's a little tired of, trying to get your attention by tugging on your left ear and tickling your arm. By the way, she's not an insect. Don't swat her off your left arm. This is exactly what had happened a few weeks before. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, that's weird. That's like, whoa, what are the odds? So I said, asked Dr. Peebles, I go, well, what's her name? So he thinks about it for a minute, keeping in mind this is Athena as Dr. Peebles. She wants to tell you her name herself. So ask her. And I'm like, okay, fine. So, this was on the weekend that I had the session. So, at work on Monday, sat in the nature area and, centered myself and tried to get quiet, which is not easy for me. And so I go, okay, is my fairy here? With my eyes closed, is my fairy here? Or, whatever I said at the time. This was a lot of years ago, like 21 years ago. And I go, what's your name? And boom, Lisette. I mean, it was just like I didn't have to think about it. My logical mind was nowhere in sight. And I heard Lisette. And ever since then, she has let me know that she is Lisette. She's wonderful, fun. I've channeled her a few times, not a lot, but she actually lets me channel her occasionally. And she comes through to bring joy and lightheartedness and stuff when I'm feeling a little down or dark. But what gets even weirder to prove that she's real is, I was living in West Hollywood, California at the time, and there was one of my neighbors he was very sweet. He had some issues and stuff, but he was a very sweet guy, and he was kind of into woo-woo stuff. But so there's a knock on my door one day, and he's standing. I think his name was Joe. I don't know. I think his name was Joe. I'm forgetting this. My memory's fading. But so anyway, knock on my door, answer my door, and he's like, I was hanging out in West Hollywood where they had, in one of the places that I was at, had a lot of these free postcards that you could take. And he's like, this one postcard, it just said, I needed to pick it up and give it to you. Keep in mind, he did not know about Lisette. I had not told him anything. He's like, this one card, and this is it. It's a fairy. Now, she's gotten water damaged. I've had a couple of water incidences where she's gotten, but look. So, where's better lighting? Hold on. This way. That's a good one. So, this is Lisette sending me a picture of herself. What are the odds he would get this feeling I needed to have this given to me? For those who don't know, I don't know if they still do this at a lot of the West Hollywood bars and stuff, but they would have free random postcards that were basically advertisements for various things, whatever. So, and then in the whole fairy and leprechaun elemental theme, a friend of mine many years ago I'm forgetting the details now, but all I remember is she had an interaction with a leprechaun, and she was packing for an important, big trip, and had bought specific new blouses and stuff to bring with her on this vacation. Like, most of the luggage was packed, yada yada, and she comes back into her bedroom, and suddenly the shirts she bought were gone. They were not in the luggage. They were totally gone. She bought them, put them in her luggage. They were gone. And I think what happened, so she's like, what? And by the way, she has gifts. So things happen to her too. And so she's looking around like, did I just put them somewhere else? Am I losing it? What's happening? And, but they were gone. They were totally gone. She never saw those shirts, those blouses again. They were gone. But I think, at first she thought, okay, it's spirit prankster or something, because I can't explain this. And I do believe, if I'm remembering this right, she actually quickly saw a leprechaun, like, towards her closet door or something. There was a reason why she was convinced it was a leprechaun just being funny. She had to go out and buy shirts all over again for her trip. But so it's like, okay, that's funny, but like, that's annoying, and Sylvia Brown mentioned that when she went to Ireland, she saw elementals and stuff actually in Ireland. They were everywhere. So I now am a believer, and Lisette has been like nagging me for days to do this and talk about her. So this is my fairy friend Lisette, and don't poo-poo the woo-woo. And by the way, I am going to Savannah on Wednesday. Yay! Extremely haunted town. I can't wait. It's going to be like a haunted mecca. So I will take truckloads of pictures, will document cemeteries and things that I can. It's only a very quick trip, but I hope to accomplish a lot, and we'll see. Anyway, take care, and open up to things that you don't necessarily think are real, but are, because... And by the way, she's lovely. I appreciate her a lot, because she lifts me up when I'm down. So anyway... Take care, and that's it for today. Bye.